What's up, gang? It's your boy Wolfpack Chris, and you are into the fourth installment of what I like to call body composition, body recomp. This is a series of videos to help educate people about fat loss, building muscle, nutrition side of the fitness and dieting aspect of whatever your fitness goals are. So, the second video I recorded was body composition or recomp fat loss, and I went into depth a little bit about the process of losing fat and burning fat. Today we're gonna go a little bit deeper into that in detail. We talked a little bit about macronutrients. We touched a little bit on macros in that second video, and now this installment, this video here is called the macro count. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys how the macro count works, what the macro count is, and how it can work for you. Now, a lot of people don't count macros when they eat, meaning you're not calculating how many grams of protein you're eating per day, how many grams of carbs you're eating per day, how many grams of fat you're eating per day. Now that is a tedious process, it sucks, having to count your food, making sure you're eating the right amount and all that good jazz. But it's way more easier if you understand the relationship of the macros and how to do it. Now I'm gonna teach you guys what macros is, how it affects you personally, what your personal daily caloric intake is, and how to get that personal daily caloric intake number for yourself, your own personal. Everybody's daily caloric intake isn't the same, and and probably in another video I'll teach you guys how to use all of this information to build a meal plan, and it'll come customized. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about meal prepping and meal planning based off of this information here. So we're going to get straight into it. So if you look over here on the left-hand side of the dry erase board, just look into this area right here. This is the only thing I want you guys to focus on right now. This is called the calculator. What is the calculator doing? Well, if your goal is fat loss, then I will go into a calculator, or you can do it yourself on bodybuilding.com or ifitfitsyourmacros.com. And this is the type of information you're going to plug in there. You're going to tell the calculator your age. You're going to give the calculator your height, weight, your physical activity, and whether you're male or female. Why does that matter? Because males and females' body compositions are totally different. Why do I need this information? What is this information going to tell me? This information here is going to tell me two things about you. One, it's going to tell me your BMR count, your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories burned throughout the day, and pretty much the amount of calories you burn at rest. And it's also going to tell me how many calories you need to burn per day in order to achieve your fat loss goal. And how does it do that? Well, it's going to give me a breakdown of your carbs, proteins, and fats. Now, if you were with me on the fat loss video, I talked about 449, right? 449. For every 1 gram of protein, that's worth 4 calories. For every 1 gram of carbs, that's worth 4 calories. For every 1 gram of fat, that's worth 9 calories. So, when I go into the calculator, I put in all of this information here. It's going to give me a breakdown that looks like this. It's going to show me how many grams of proteins you're supposed to take per day, how many grams of carbs you're supposed to take per day, and how many grams of fat you're supposed to take per day. I then take that information, I calculate it, I multiply your proteins and carbs by 4, which tells me that you're supposed to get a total of 780 calories per day from protein. It also tells me that you're getting 780 calories per day from carbs, and it tells me that you're only supposed to take in 387 calories per day of fats. Now, I take this caloric number here, add it up, and it tells me what your total daily calorie intake is supposed to be. Now, if you were a male Doesn't matter what your race, color, creed is. If you are a man, a male, and this also applies to females. I'm just using a male as an example. If you were a male and your age was 33 years old, you were 5'10", you weighed 278 pounds, your physical activity was sedentary, which meant that you really didn't do much, you didn't get much physical activity, and again, you were a male and your goal is fat loss, then with all that information plugged into the calculator, your numbers would come out to be 1,947 calories per day. That means if you want to achieve fat loss, then you have to only take in 1,947 calories per day. Now we're basing this off of a male that weighs 278 pounds, right? So in the fat loss video, I talked about maintenance calories. So maintenance pretty much is if I was 278 pounds right now, and I wanted to maintain 278 pounds all year long, I could not eat this. I could not eat 1,947 calories per day and still maintain 278 pounds. I would lose weight. Why? Because my daily intake, in order to maintain that, would have to be above this. Remember, we're talking about fat loss. How far above this number would I need to be to maintain 278 pounds? Well, if you follow me over to the right side of the dry erase board, where I talk about to maintain body weight at 278 pounds, I would do the same calculation over here as I did here. And that calculation would take me out to, only difference is, instead of fat loss, my goal would be just to maintain body fat or body weight. So my proteins, carbs, fats, grams would be a little bit different. I'd be taking in 182 grams of protein, 274 grams of carbs, and 68 grams of fat. That will take me to 728 calories per day just from proteins, 1,096 calories per day from carbs, and 612 calories per day from fats. That would take me at a daily intake of 2,436 calories. I would have to take in 2,436 calories per day in order to maintain a body weight of 278 pounds all year round. Now, you see the difference. I came in weighing 278, right? That means this is what I'm eating on a daily basis if that's the weight that I've been maintaining for quite some time. I want to lose 278, so now I have to take in 1,947 calories in order to start to drop that. So how much of a deficit is that taking my body into if I'm taking in 2436 and I need to take in 1947? How much of a deficit is that? Well, in order to go into fat loss, I would be burning 520 calories per day just off of eating this amount of calories per day. That's 520 calories. Now, let's talk about basal metabolic rate for a second. We've all heard the general information about your metabolism, what your metabolism does for you, how it burns fat, how it helps you burn fat. It's the mechanism to help you burn fat, and calories. When I say fat, calories, I get them all jumbled up sometimes. But anyway, your basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories that you burn per day. Now, forget my fat loss stuff. Just understand this right here. 278 pounds. I'm 5'10", 33-year-old male living a sedentary lifestyle. If I didn't do nothing but eat my daily 2436 calories a day to maintain 278, then my BMR count would be 2,467. I would only burn at this calorie intake, I would only burn 2,467 calories per day, and I'm taking in 2,436 calories per day. I'm eating 2,436 and burning 2,467. Now, Am I really losing weight? No. Why? Because my calorie deficit is only 31 calories. 31 calories. So in versus out. All right. So now if I come over here and I want to go lose fat at 278 pounds, if I'm only taking in 1,947 in versus the out, then I've sent my body into a deficit of 520 calories. Why is that important? Well, I'll tell you why that's important. Because if you burn 3,500 calories, you will lose 1 pound of fat. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat, and that's only if you didn't do any physical activity but eat less than what you burn. You're guaranteed to lose 520 calories per day. So at 520 calories per day times 7 days a week, you'll burn a total of 3,640 calories. You will lose 1 pound per week just by eating less than what you burn. Now, I said in the fat loss video that you could lose up to 2 to 3 pounds of weight per week. This is just based off of what you eat. This is just based off of your diet and your meal plan and your nutrition. We haven't even factored in physical activity. So if, for example, me, when I was dieting down and when I was eating healthy, and I still am, and I put physical activity on top of that, I would go to the gym in the morning time. I would do my cardio. I would do cardio, low intensity cardio for a total of 60 minutes, 1 full hour. And I would burn anywhere between 1,000 to 1,200 calories within that hour. So let's imagine I am the 33-year-old, 5'10", 278-pound male, and just off of eating 1,947 calories per day, I'm burning 520 calories per day. If I put that physical activity on top of that 520 calories per day, and I've burnt, let's say 1,000, then I've sent my body into a deficit of 1,520 calories per day. So let's do the math on that real quick. 520 times 7. Let me get my handy dandy calculator. Oh, shoot. You guys sit tight real quick. Forgot my calculator. All right, got my calculator here, folks. I apologize for that. So, we said 1,520 times 7 days a week. I have burnt 10,640 calories. Now, remember I told you guys 3,500 is 1 pound of fat, right? So, let's see what that comes out to. That puts me at 3.04 pounds of fat loss. This shit is easy. This is easy. A lot of people don't understand this because they weren't taught it. Hopefully, I've explained it to you on an 8th grade level. And you're learning it. This is going to benefit you like crazy once you figure out, once you sit down and do a meal plan and you stick to that meal plan and you eat strictly based off your total daily intake. Remember, the national average, the thing that you see printed on the back of every nutrition label, on every food item in America. It says that the national average for people to intake is 2,000 calories per day. No, that's not right. As you can see, just to maintain a body weight of 278, this individual has to eat more than 2,000 calories per day. In order to lose fat at a healthy rate, this individual has to take in less than 2,000 calories per day. In fact, 520 calories less than 2,000 calories a day. Well, a little bit less than that because 2,000 is less than what he'd be taking in anyway. But anyway, at any rate, that's the macro count. And a lot of people don't like doing it because it's tedious, it's time consuming. But as you can see, this is very, very, very easy math. Once you figure out the math side of it, which is very easy, the calculation side of it, which is very easy, then you can go into the actual meal planning by planning out how much of what you need to take in when you go to the grocery store. And then that'll help you figure out how to prep your meals, which will be another video for another day. And if you want to, you can go on YouTube at Iron Gang and you can check out my meal prep video where I show you guys how I prep my meal. And yeah, so I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I hope you guys learned something. Until next time, Iron Gang for life, Iron Gang out. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm not quite sure what we're going to talk about next, but yeah, you guys have a good one.